All right, so this is the last review that we're going to do before we start our new, our first unit in grade 11. So this is expanding and solving equations. Expanding and solving equations, basically you're going to use it for everything you do again in math, right? So it's one of the basic skills that you need to learn in math. So you need to know what a like term is. You need to know what a coefficient is, and you need to know how to add and subtract and multiply terms. Okay? So, looking at this, so to collect like terms, let's first define what a like term is. What's a like term? Say, it doesn't have to have the same coefficient, but it does have to have the same variable and same exponent. That's right. So if I'm looking at these two terms, for example, so if I have x and then x, these are like terms, right? Because they both have x and the exponent for the x is 1. Okay? So these are called like terms. In the term, so I'm going to give you another term. So let's say I have 8x squared. That's another term, right? Is this like term to 2x? No, because it has a squared on top of it. Okay, so this is not like term. These two, the 2x and the 10x, are like terms. Okay, so in the term we have the coefficient, we have the variable or variables. You can have multiple of them, and we have the exponent. Now, when you're adding terms, they have to be like terms to be able to add them. Okay? You can't add apples and oranges. They have to both be apples. Okay? And when you're adding them, so let's say I'm adding 2x plus 10x, what would I get?
12x.
12x. So you're adding your coefficients together, leaving the variable the same. Okay? So let's write this down. So add or subtract the coefficient of terms that have the same variable and exponent. So if you're looking at the example 2a plus 3a, they're like terms, and I'm adding them. So all what I have to do is I have to add the coefficient, and that would give me 5a. Okay, so if I'm going to look at the two examples, I have 3a minus 2b minus 5a plus b. What do I do?
Collect the like term.
So what are my like terms? 3a minus 5a. So what's 3a minus 5a? Minus 2a. Okay. What would be the next two terms, like terms? So I have minus 2b plus b, that would be negative b. Right? Because I have minus 2 and I'm adding 1. So that's going to be negative 1 because 2 has is the bigger number and it has a negative sign. All right, take a few seconds to do the next one. It's okay, sorry. All right, what are my like terms? Yeah, 2x squared and minus 4x squared, so that I get
Minus 2 squared.
my negative 2x squared, yeah. And then I have 3x and 5x, they're both addition, so I add them, plus 8x. And minus 6 plus 7, plus. Good, good, yep.
I'm a little frustrated is when the variable
Yep.
and the exponents, they remain the same here, but in other situations, you're adding the exponents and
That's right.
What's the other situation?
And when you multiply them. So the difference is, when you're adding, right, when you add 2x plus 4x, let's say, you're gonna get 6x, right? But when you're multiplying, let's say you have 2x times, so that's a multiplication here, times 4x, you're gonna get 8x squared.
Okay.
Okay? So the difference is, one you're adding, the other one is you're multiplying. Okay? Think back to, let's say, the area perimeter. Okay? The perimeter is you're adding all the sides of the room. Right? If I'm talking about the perimeter of the room, you have to add all the sides, right? And then you're gonna end up with, let's say, 20 meter. Okay? Not meter squared, you have 20 meter of perimeter, right? But when I'm talking about area, right? You're gonna do, let's say, 5 times 4, right? You're gonna get 20 meters squared, right? So when you multiply your exponents, they add up, right? But when you add, you leave the exponents.
Thank you.
It's the same. Are we okay with that? All right. And this is that will bring us to the multiplication right now.
Thank you.
All right. So we have something that is called a distributive. Okay. So a distributive property is when you have something, a term, multiplied by a bracket. Okay. So that means that term that's outside the bracket is actually multiplied by everything inside the bracket. Okay. So multiply each term of the what is it called? By the. I'm trying to find my terminology. I don't know. Okay, that's what. Do you guys know what a binomial is?
Yes.
What is it?
An equation with two terms?
That's right. So when you have an expression with two terms, right? So you look like right here, right? You have two terms, b plus c. That's called a binomial. Okay? A monomial means one, so that is a monomial, the a here by itself. Okay? So we have, you're gonna hear the word binomial, monomial, trinomial. Trinomial means 3 terms added or subtracted together. Okay?
What would the fourth one be?
We don't have a terminology for it. But anything that's 4 here, usually in math they do quad. But that would be for there's probably a word for it, but we don't use it. We use the 3 that we use always is binomial, monomial, and trinomial. Okay, so you're going to distribute. So you're going to multiply the monomial by each term inside the binomial. So a times b is ab. A times c is so plus ac. Are you guys okay with this? Anyone have any problems with this? No? We're good? Alright. So, let's look at this example. I have negative 2a times 3a. What do I get?
Minus 6a squared.
Negative 6a squared. Because a times a is a squared. Okay? Then, what do I get when I have negative 2a times negative 2b?
Positive 4b.
positive for
B.
A, B. Negative and negative gives me positive. 2 times 2 gives me 4. A times B is AB. Good. So I have 2x minus, open bracket, x minus 8y, close bracket, minus 3y. What do I do?
Multiply the negative sign inside the bracket.
That's right. So if you look right here, that 2x is subtract. So you do 2x minus, right? So that 2x is not multiplied by this. It's not like this, right? You have a minus. So what's multiplied is actually that negative that's right there is multiplied by each term inside the bracket. Okay? You're going to imagine this as if you have a negative 1. Okay? But we don't usually write that negative. Okay? So this is what you want to imagine as a visible negative 1. Now let's multiply that negative 1. What do I get? Negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times negative 8y minus 3.
It would make so much more sense if the one was just
Was there, right? Yeah. So what you can do is you put it. Okay? Just put it there. Now, after we do this, we collect like terms. Okay? Because every time the question says simplify or expand and simplify, we're looking for the lowest terms possible. Okay? So in this case, it will be 2x minus x, which is plus 8 minus 3y is plus 5. Are we okay with
Did
this?
you do this one 2x minus 1x basically?
Yes.
It's just that.
Yeah. So anytime you have a letter with no coefficient in front of it, that's a 1.
And the plus and minus, and the negative and the positive sign, there's a 1.
That's right. Are we okay with this? Do we need to stop for a minute and then do some examples before we move on? Okay. So we're going to stop right now.